tonight in the Missouri Valley. Hide the little ones and take sides. The tournament ain't big enough for all these hombres. Somebody's gonna die. You like dogs? Over here. You like birds? Over there. These dogs can hunt. These birds can fly. Southern Illinois? Right on. Illinois State? Right on. The winner moves on up. The loser moseys home. And we welcome you to the arena here in St. Louis. Tonight it is the final of the Missouri Valley. A terrific matchup. The number 1 and 2 ranked teams in this conference. Southern Illinois, the Salukis from Carbondale, and the conference champions, the Illinois State Redbirds from Normal, Illinois. And hello, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins tonight with Larry Conley. And Larry, just a terrific matchup. SIU won when they played in Carbondale. Illinois State won when they played in Normal. Here they are now on a neutral court. Got to be a close game.
Well, it will be. I'm disappointed we didn't get our cowboy hats, by the way.
You know what they say about cowboy hats?
Yeah, right. I'm disappointed. But really, the game is going to be a close basketball game. These two coaches today both told us that the games, while they were blowouts according to the numbers, were much closer than the scores indicated.
All right, let's talk a little bit about SIU. They are led by a player who I'm sure there's a whole lot of coaches in the ACC and the Big 8 and the Big 10 and the Pac-10 saying, who is this guy, Ashraf Amaya, and where was he?
Well, he's one of those hidden gems we've talked about all year at ESPN. Look at the points, rebounds, and blocks. This guy was the most valuable player in this league last year. He's been the defensive player of the year this year and led this league in rebounding in the last 2 years. He's a great inside, strong player. Terrific body. 6'8", 230. He can go outside and shoot it. That's the reason why Southern Illinois has got the great record they've got this year.
All right, let's talk about Illinois State. They play a whole bunch of bodies. Before the game is 7 or 8 minutes old, we'll probably see 11 different players. But they have one real stand-up guy, Mike Vandegaard.
Yeah, he's the one guy, really, that when you talk about leaders, this guy's their big play man. He leads them in 7 different categories, team categories on this club. He can shoot it. He can go inside. Great at handling the ball in the open court. Again, a 6'8" player, but again, one of those types of players you love to watch up and down the floor.
All right, so what's going to be the difference in the game? Well, we talked to Rich Herrin of Southern Illinois. He said, we got to get some cheap transition baskets. We talked to Bob Bender of Illinois State. He said, we can't allow any cheap transition baskets. Whoever can make them is going to win the ball game.
Don't wait for a sale. Find quality flooring at low prices every day at Neiman Flooring. Neiman's in Murfreesboro and Marion has the largest selection of flooring in Southern Illinois. Volume buying brings you the best bargains in carpet, vinyl, ceramic tile, and wood floors. Gold label carpet with a 5-year wear and stain warranty is only $7.99 a yard every day. And on sale now, DuPont Stainmaster carpet at our special purchase price of $6.99 a yard. That's a 9x12 room for $83.88. Neiman, your friend in the flooring business.
Kilby's Barbecue, owned and operated by Charles Miller and family for over 14 years with mouth-watering ribs, delicious fried chicken, pond-raised catfish, ocean catfish, and the best pork or beef barbecue available as a sandwich, a basket, or even as sliced pounds to go. We even have platelets with real mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, baked beans, and a choice of 2 vegetables daily. There's also a variety of many other sandwiches and side orders. We have kind, courteous service with a friendly atmosphere. So come in or phone your order in and pick it up at the window at Kilby's Barbecue, Murfreesboro.
Tompkins with Larry Conley, just about set to tip it off in the Missouri Valley Conference Championships. We are at the St. Louis Arena. Let's take a look at the lineups. First of all, for the Salukis of Southern Illinois, Tyrone Bell, a key player for them. He's been a hot player, incidentally, lately with Lowery. Ashraf Amaya, about whom we spoke. Marcus Timmons. They need more offensive production out of him. And Mirko Pavlovic, who is getting a start tonight and has been a very tough competitor over the last 5 games. They are coached ably and coached for 8 years by Rich Herrin, and you see his record, 140 up, 106 down. Very, very capable coaches on both squads. For Illinois State, from down the road in Normal, Illinois, Richard Thomas is the point guard. He is the guy who really has to be a factor in this game, maybe on the defensive end as much as the offensive end. With Wemhainer, Mike Vandegaard, about whom we spoke, Scott Taylor, who has been a little bit off at his offensive production, and Bob Bender wants more out of him tonight. And Thomas Hunter, undersized, but a big rebounder for an undersized front court player. And they are coached by Bob Bender, I think one of the fine young coaches around. He's in his 4th year at Illinois State. That record's a little deceiving because he had 1 year that was a very bad year. Everything else has been very, very good. And this year, 19 wins, the best he has done in his tenure at Illinois State.
Barry, I got to tell you an interesting story sitting around the shoot-around today with Illinois State when they all gathered around Coach Bender when he had him at the end of the day. He had some interesting comments to say, and I got a chance to listen in. He says, let me tell you something. He said, the pressure is on Southern Illinois. It's not on us. He says, all we've got to do is go out there and play. He says, everybody expects them to win this tournament. They were expected to win the season. We won the season. He says, and now the pressure is so great on them. The more defensive pressure we could put on them, the tougher it will be on them.
These two teams match up very well. Let's take a look at how they got here. First, a lot of close games in this tournament, even going back to the first round of the tournament. Illinois State had to struggle a little bit to get by the 8th-seeded team, Indiana State. They won by 5. You can see Drake in Northern Iowa had a very close game. Southern Illinois had to go to overtime in its first round before winning. Illinois State was never ahead of Drake when they got to the semifinals until the last 11 seconds. Southern Illinois an easier time with Southwest Missouri State. We are underway.
And guess who made the free throws to beat Drake? Mike Vandegaard.
Exactly. We said he's a step-up player. He is really very tough under pressure. This is Lowery with the ball. Tyrone Bell, they need help from him. He missed his first try. Amaya gets it back and has to put back.
And Barry, that's the one thing Illinois State can ill afford to give up. Easy baskets. You talked about the end of the opening. They cannot allow that to happen. Amaya easy when inside.
Both these teams content to take the cheap basket if it's there. If it's not there, they will back it out and get into a half-court game, which is what they're in right now.
Salukis like to play the man-to-man, and they go straight up to start this game.
And they will play exclusively man-to-man. Illinois State, you'll probably see some matchup zone from Illinois State.
Yeah, Bob Bender told us today he'll use that when he has to.
Thomas, tough jumper. Won't go. Amaya, the rebound, is second already. They get it to Lowery.
Amaya's averaging 11 rebounds a game.
Amaya puts it on the floor. That's the question about him. Can he create shots by putting it on the floor? First turnover of the ball game.
First thing he has to do is create a good pass. That was not a very good one.
Thomas made a pretty good one to Hunter on the low block, and now the kick out. Down low it goes again to Hunter. Over Amaya. Won't go. Amaya did just enough.
Barry, did you see the little fake Hunter gave right there? I think the intimidation of Amaya really creates that little fake they have to give to try to get him off his feet. He didn't bite.
Timmons down low. Timmons has to be more offensive-minded than he has been in the tournament so far. Pavlovic, who was really helped off the bench from Belgrade, Yugoslavia. And another turnover. 2 empty trips now for the Salukis.
Yeah, both of them very poor passes.
Why not? Sticks it for 3.
Scott Taylor, long range. And you see Illinois State beginning to pick up already. At midcourt line, Thomas picking up Lowery out front. Not a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we were talking about the cheap baskets that Rich Herrin feels he has to get. He also acknowledges they're very hard to get against the tenacious defense that the guards of Illinois State play.
Illinois State really needs to do a good job on those guards outside. Good, strong rebound by Taylor.
Lemhainer with the ball. Lemhainer is the guy that Bob Bender calls the heart and soul of this basketball team. Wants him to shoot the ball a little bit more, actually.
Notice how Illinois State keeps the middle open on their offense. See nobody in the paint right there. Now, they make the cuts across, then they'll post up low.
And there's Hunter working on Amaya. And again, Amaya doing just enough.
It's his presence.
Good pass down low to Amaya, and he missed a shot. He's not going to miss a lot of those. Fight for the rebound, Vandegaard. Taylor thought about it. Now they'll kick it out. Down low to Hunter. They're really looking low.
Yeah, but they do a nice job of spreading that offense so there can't be any help coming from the wings. Good, intelligent play by Illinois State.
They lead by 3. Lowery and Thomas really match up well.
Yeah, we'll have fun with that matchup tonight. Both quick demons out front, boy. They really get after it.
They got Hunter reaching across that time. Take a look at the post play for Illinois State.
Now watch the pass down inside. Vandegaard gets the ball down exactly where Hunter needs it. Amaya standing there with a good shot right over the top of him. No fake that time. He went straight up.
There's a look at Thomas Hunter out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Has a hyperextended knee, but playing pretty well right now.
Both teams looking down on the block. Overplayed nicely that time by Thomas to knock it out of bounds.
I think that's something that Illinois State really needs to do on defense. They need a lot of help from a lot of different angles to kind of shut down that inside play of Southern Illinois. They got 3 guys at 6'8" in there. I'll tell you what, they roll some hard 8s at you in there.
Lowery, the penetration. Nice defense that time by Wormhunter. Fall away that time. Bell, nice shot.
I watched him play in that semifinal game yesterday, and I thought it was about as good a guard exhibition as I've seen all year.
Here's Vandergaard, very tough in there. Missed that shot, however. And Amaya has another rebound. He's got a bunch early in this game. Bell's got a big body for a guard.
Very strong, very strong.
Down low it goes again. Timmons too hard off the glass. Vandergaard clears, and he'll wait for help. Taylor gets the penetration, can't get the finger roll. I'll have a second try. Hunter loses it, however, to Timmons.
We've had a high transition game, haven't we? Both clubs going up and down the floor.
Much more so than we expected.
Yeah, I thought Illinois State would go more to a half-court game, but they've really pushed the ball.
Into the lane, Bell hammered that time. And they're going to get Bell. Player control. There's a man doesn't agree with that. We'll take a timeout. 15:32 remaining first half. The Redbirds 5-4 over the Salukis, and we'll be back right after this.
You'll be surprised at what you get on the new Subaru Impreza L for just $12,999. Maybe even downright suspicious. So go down to your local Subaru dealership and take a look. Jump up and down on the new smoother suspension. Stroke that galvanized metal. Go ahead, kick a tire. The surprising Impreza from Subaru. It's not just another new car.
When David and Lisa Edmondson needed life insurance, they came to see me. I'm Kent Spearman, their State Farm agent. I help the Edmondsons put together a life insurance plan that works for them and their budget. And I stay in touch as their needs grow and change because that plan has to work for their children, Rachel and Travis, too. If you want life insurance that works for you, get an agent who works for you. Get yourself a State Farm agent.
State Farm sells life insurance.
Exactly been the way both coaches would draw it up. Illinois State leads it by 15-32. Maybe a little bit of a case of nerves, Larry.
Oh, I think so. And both clubs being very tentative. And I'm not sure exactly why, because they've already had a chance to face each other twice this year, each on their home court. And both clubs won substantially big margins over the other one.
Yeah, I thought Bob Bender had an interesting comment about that. He said familiarity breeds consistency. So he feels just knowing this team is going to make his team better.
By the way, folks, we will have some shots of him tonight. He is very active on that bench.
Yes, he is. And contrary to his personality outside the game, just a delightful guy.
Good steal by Chris Lowery. Look at the quickness inside. Good penetration and drop-off.
Kick off to Pavlovich. Over to Bell. Bell got Hunter in the air. It goes down low for Amaya. Nice play by Hunter. They got the numbers 3-on-3. Vandergaard, opportunity. Won't go. Vandergaard having a little trouble getting on track early in this game. Lowery, the lob to Amaya. And again, Hunter did a good job. Bell out front.
Good screen off. Boy, did Hunter ever keep Amaya away from that basket.
Hunter's doing a pretty nice job on the defensive end.
Barry, watch the move by Amaya down here, coming down in the midcourt. Now, once he crosses midcourt, it's a nice catch. He goes down, retrieves the basketball, goes down, comes back up. Bender wants to walk, but he was dribbling the ball when he went down. Then he comes back up, trying to get inside. Now, watch the screen off by Hunter. Look at this. See, he wouldn't let him near the basket. That's a terrific block out.
And what I thought Hunter did very well the first time down the court was he didn't go after the ball. He just tried to establish position.
Sometimes you got to do that. And Hunter's got a pretty wide body. I mean, he's the type of guy that can screen off somebody like Amaya.
You saw neither team really shooting the ball very well, and Illinois State going to its bench, bringing on a big body of its own, and Brian Kern at 6'9" and 230 pounds.
There's a discussion over the scores table right now. I'm not sure what it was about.
Apparently a discussion about who that last foul was called on. Down low, Kern Turn worked on by Pavlovich. Jump hook won't go. Hunter, second try. It won't go. And Amaya taps the rebound out, and here come the Salukis. Bell, one-on-one. Comes across the paint, waits for help. Timmons fills the lane. Offensive foul. No basket.
That's not going to make the Salukis very happy. Timmons with a strong move. Bell's going to give it up. Watch the slap out right here. A second slap out. Lowery made a good play. Bell's got it. He's only got one man between him and the basket. He decides to go cross court. I thought he had an easy one simply because the defender went down. Then he gave it to Timmons, who charged. Player control the other way. No basket.
So a break for Illinois State.
It's one of those easy baskets Illinois State was trying to do away with, and they just saved themselves one.
Exactly right. Taylor misses a shot. Neither team shooting the ball very well at all. And there's a guy who will be the first to agree with that statement. Timmons, and we mentioned some offensive production is really needed from him. Neither team has made a shot in its last 9.
Good movement inside by Southern Illinois. Good pass.
Nice pass by Bell to Amaya. Terrific look by Bell.
Yeah, they ran the offense to perfection that time. Good motion, freed the inside player. The defensive help. The kick to Amaya.
They have not been able to solve the riddle that is Amaya so far. There's Hunter, turnaround over Amaya. And again, Amaya made him fall away just enough. Thomas for 3. Can't get the roll. And there's Amaya with a rebound and Kern with a foul. Let's go back to the studio right now and John Saunders. John.
East Carolina trying to upset the #1 seed in the Colonial. Leicester Lions here spins, splits the D, and knocks it down. They're 12-16, and they could be headed to the big dance.
Tough night so far for Lefty Drizel. 6-5 ball game here. Neither team really playing what you call lights-out basketball. Pavlovich turnaround won't go.
Vandegaard with good defense. Hand right in his face. I'd say so far, Barry, the defense has really dominated on both ends for these clubs.
Altadon in the ball game now for Illinois State. Very good shooter, pure shooter.
Yeah, most of the times that don't happen though when you get into a third meeting between two clubs because the offenses are known by both clubs.
Kern with an errant pass. Vandegaard cut one way. Kern thought he was going the other way. Lowery open for a moment. Pump fake. Penetrates. Got a man in the air. Drew the foul. Score the basket. Excellent play by Lowery.
Lowery strong up. The pump fake. Thomas bit. He went up. Came down, and Lowery still got the basket. Southern Illinois beginning to make some moves now. Good look at this ball fake. Good ball fake. Thomas all over it, and Lowery went up strong. You know, talk about playing a club for a third time. I can remember playing a basketball game one time where I went in a position on my offense, and the guy who was defending me said, "No, you're in the wrong place." That's how well they knew our offense. That's probably true of these two clubs, too.
Lowery converts the free throw. And the Salukis lead it by 4. They've gone off 6 in a row now.
Watch the screen. Good roll.
Three-point opportunities not there at all for Illinois State as the Salukis really stretching them.
Vandegaard trying to call for it inside. Pavlovich's trying to give help each time the Vandegaard gets inside against Timmons. Illinois State having a hard time getting that offense cranked up.
They really are, and that's credit to the Salukis defense, doing a nice job. Here's Vandegaard. He's very tough in here.
Good spin move. They had him shut off. He couldn't go to the baseline. He went out top and made a little turnaround J.
Very versatile player. He can shoot it facing up, shoot it with his back to the basket, fall away. Has a stroke from 3. And Amaya, they just have not been able to stop.
I'm going to tell you what, if he's versatility 2, Vandegaard, that's versatility 1 right there. 6 points now for Amaya.
Altadonna looks down low for Vandegaard. Amaya very active defensively, too. Nice help out. Vandegaard, tough shot. And Amaya with another rebound. Ahead it goes to Lowery. Nice look by Lowery to Pavlovich.
Southern Illinois starting to get those easy baskets we talked about. Bob Bender upset with his club, not getting back on defense. Oh, good pass by Kern. Taylor couldn't handle it.
Here's Kern again trying to back Amaya down. That was an awful-looking shot. Here's Timmons with a rebound. Gonna get Bell offensively again. Good job that time by Altadonna, and that is planned. Bob Bender wants his players to try to draw that charge. It's the second time in this ball game that they have done it on Bell, and the third time they've done it on Southern Illinois. We'll be back right after this.
I want to talk to you about my new Subaru Impreza and explain its relevance to you and me and the car business, okay? Okay. This car is like punk rock. Now, just trust me, this is relevant. Do you remember when rock and roll was really boring and corporate? Well, punk challenged all this and said, hey, excuse me, but here's what's cool about music, remember? Now, Subaru, with this Impreza, is challenging some car thinking here. This car is all about reminding you and me what's great about a car and moving forward and making cars better and less disappointing. Just like punk, except it's cars. Oh, I just thought of another analogy. Excuse me.
It's all right. It's okay. It's an ad. It's all right. At a time when things seem to be getting tighter and tighter, TWA has made it a lot easier to get by. We're replacing coach with new Comfort Class to give you the most legroom of any major U.S. airline. And we're even putting footrests on every wide-body plane. But the price remains the same.
Recently, 1 million cases of Diet Pepsi were sent free to loyal Diet Coke drinkers.
I wonder if some of them are singing a different tune now. It's got a hold on me, right in the soul of me. I'm a changed man. This is the right one, baby. Uh-huh.
It makes you wonder, what would happen if everyone tried Diet Pepsi?
No comment, baby. No doubt about it. Only one taste is the right one. Makes me feel like singing. You got the right one, baby. Uh-huh.
You dreamed about it, but it took McDonald's to make it happen. A one-on-one showdown between you and Michael Jordan. Buy a McDonald's extra value meal and get an NBA fantasy pack free, or pick one up for only 59 cents with any other purchase. Collect exclusive Upper Deck NBA cards, win fantasy prizes like NBA season tickets, or a chance to meet the man himself.
Eyes closed, off the board, nothing but net.
Here we go again. Hurry, because what you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
East Carolina's lead is at 3 over James Madison. They work it to Brian Edwards, who is wide open for the tying shot. It bounces in and out. The lead now 4 after a free throw. We'll keep you updated.
East Carolina, huge upset, Larry.
Yeah, Tyrone Bell just got his rung right here. He went down with a charge. And the one thing Bob Bender talked about in practice today is you get that charge. He said, guys, we got to draw a lot of charges. Defensively, they're going to block a lot of shots. We got to do the other part of it, take charges. He just got the ball back on a nice defensive play.
The difference in the game, without question, has been the play of Ashraf Amaya. He's got 6 points, 6 rebounds. One of those rebounds, an offensive rebound. I mean, he is doing it at both ends and playing some really solid defense, too.
You know, one of the figures I was astounded by when I read their stats, he has been a double-figure rebounder 52 times. Shot block that time, coming out of nowhere for the shot block was Chris Carr. Carr, just a freshman, and a very good shot blocker. He's from one of those great metropolises, Pilot Knob, Missouri.
I like it. 500 people in Pilot Knob.
And he just got a basket. All 500 of you can jump up and scream now. Feels like bigger than Marcus Timmons' place, or in Missouri, which is population 50, right?
That's right. That's right.
Love those small towns. Love it. Well, Southern Illinois doing a good job denying that basketball inside. Aren't they good help?
Yeah, Illinois stay completely out of sync offensively. Hunter, a shot that misses, and Carr with a rebound. He's been a factor since he's been out there, hasn't he?
Maybe about a minute. Already a rebound, a nice shot.
This is Lusk also in the ballgame. Paul Lusk, a sophomore out of New Baden, Illinois. Transfer from Iowa. We'll talk about him in a moment. Amaya, he's got 8. What a sweet stroke.
It's what I said, Barry, at the top of the show. This guy is a real hidden gem. Got a great body. He's 6'8", he's 230, he can jump, can run. Well, he can do it all. Nice pass.
Vandergaard will go to the free throw line. Could not get the ball down. Illinois State just one of its last 13, Larry. Substitutions now for Illinois State as Todd Cagle comes into the ball game replacing Thomas. Cagle was a walk-on when he started. Comes from a basketball background. His dad was a high school coach for 11 years.
Well, Vandergaard puts it up in the air on those free throws, doesn't he? Gets about as high as the arch here.
Incidentally, they call this whole tournament Arch Madness. I kind of like that.
I think that is terrific. It's the first thing I saw when Missouri Valley put together their logo for this tournament. I looked up there and I thought, something's missing. The M? No, it's Arch Madness.
I like it. JoJo Johnson also in the ball game now for Rich Herrin Salukis. He's a freshman. A lot of young players on the floor right now.
Here comes that zone defense, maybe a little bit around. Yeah, they're matching up. Illinois State's matching up right now. And away from that man-to-man. See, they can deny that ball to the inside. That's where they've been getting killed. And also the stick back. Southern Illinois doing a good job on the offensive board.
Well, they've got to do something to make a change because Amaya is just having it all his own way. He comes out of the high post now, sets a screen. It's JoJo Johnson with the ball, now Lusk.
Well, for one thing, they slowed down the Southern Illinois juggernaut. They're not coming at him as quickly.
Lusk pulls up, sticks it.
Tough shot. And a good one.
Salukis by 10.
Look at Carr all over Vandergaard out front.
Vandergaard puts it on the floor, and that's another tough shot, and that's credit to good defense again.
And Carr was right in his face. Vandergaard really struggling.
But I'll tell you, Vandergaard is a guy, last time I saw him, he struggled a lot too. Got a foul this time underneath. He struggled for about the first 15 minutes of the ball game, wound up with about 24. He is that kind of player.
Well, Carr just gave him a little nudge to the floor, and he slid about 10 feet.
We're going to take a timeout with 7:58 remaining first half, of the Salukis on a big-time run. Illinois State unable to find the basket. It's 19-9, Southern Illinois.
Up, way up. That's what's been happening to cable viewership. At the same time, guess what's happened to network viewership? And the majority of those lost network ratings have gone directly to cable. Over 120 million viewers have found cable, and there's a simple way for advertisers to find them. Plug into the power of cable. America is cable ready.
Transmission, 310 West White Street in Marion, your ATRA-certified transmission rebuilders. A&A has the largest rebuilt transmission inventory in the area, and with a nationwide warranty. A&A is the only one in the area to feature the Dynadrone test machine, ensuring that your rebuilt transmission works right the first time. In most cases, A&A can have you back on the road in only one day. We also rebuild imported transmissions, both automatic and manual. Come see us at A&A Transmission, 310 West White Street in Marion, 993-6446.
Fantasy trip to the College Basketball Championships only from ESPN. Executive Jet Aviation takes you and 4 friends to New Orleans as VIPs. Limousine, Hotel Intercontinental Suite, the best seats for all the games, and $2,500. Dine in famous restaurants, get a new camcorder, and more great stuff. No phone call required. Enter the Fab 5 Fantasy Basketball Weekend by mail or call 1-900-370-FAB5. It's a 95-cent call. You must be 18 or over. Sponsored by Pizza Hut and Quaker Steak.
It is now a final, and James Madison will have to wait until next Sunday to find out if they make it to the tournament. Hit a few shots at it, but at the end, East Carolina with a little pudding on top of things. 54-49 is the final. The number 7 seed knocks off the number 1 seed. The first time since 1986 that a team with a sub-500 record will make it to the tournament. That was Montana State. East Carolina 13-16. But Lefty Driesell, 3 tries at this championship in his conference. He's lost all 3.
Well, you know, right now, when you look at Lefty Driesell, I could hear the cry that we beat California, we beat Auburn, but you look at some of their losses. They lost, for example, at Penn State. That's going to really hurt them. They lost to LaSalle, who this year had a struggling year. That's going to hurt them. I think we're seeing a possible matchup. Maybe not George Washington and Georgetown in the NIT. We'll see the left-hander hook up with Georgetown. And we'll have Lefty probably on the show having a battle again with Billy Tubbs. But I'll say this in defense of Lefty. I really feel that the little guy really gets left out because of the mega conferences, and I say flat out that a team, and I hope the committee honors this, if you're under 500 in your conference, bye-bye, no shot, let the little guy in like the left-hander, let him in a tournament, reward him for a great year.
Great year, but a loss to a sub-500 team. We'll find out next Sunday. Right now, let's get back to the Missouri Valley.
All right, thanks very much, John and Dick. Well, a little left-hander by Paul Lusk just a moment ago has stretched the Saluki lead to 21-9. 16-4 run for the Salukis over the last 9 minutes. Early in the game, Larry, we talked about nerves. I don't think there's any nerves out there at all now. This is the Salukis defense that is just putting a lid on Illinois State.
They have been so quick to the ball.
Hagel misses.
You know, Barry, the other thing is, even when they're not quick to the ball, they're making it very difficult for Illinois State to even get a decent shot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think the Redbirds have had an uncontested shot. I don't believe they've had one that I can remember in the game.
No, they've played 9. Well, they played, 14 minutes almost, and they've only got 9 points. That'll give you some indication. And they're a better shooting club than that.
And here are the numbers, 3 of 20. That's obviously not going to get it done. But again, it's not so much the poor shooting as it is the good defense.
And this is a club, Illinois State, that's been shooting 48% for the year. So they're not chopped liver when it comes to the field goal range. Nice
Lusk,
pass.
yeah, down low to Amaya. Boy, Lusk has really been productive in his time out there. We talked about him a moment ago. He transferred from Iowa. He was a roommate of Chris Street, who was tragically killed earlier this year. University of Iowa flew a plane down for him, picked him up, took him to the memorial. It affected the young man greatly, needless to say. Very close to the Street family as well.
I haven't done a game this year involving Iowa, a club that I really enjoyed watching play this year. It was right after Chris's death. And as I said many times that night, I said, you can never forget this young man because he was just a testimonial to what college basketball is all about. Hard-working, tenacious, very bright, just a hard worker. I don't think he had a single enemy in the entire world. He's a terrific kid.
Thomas will go to the free throw line to try to do something about getting his team back into the fray here because they have really had their hats handed to them so far. Right now for Illinois State, Vandegaard, Fitch, Taylor, Thomas, and Wemaner. Thomas gets them both. Gets it back to a 10-point game, 21-11.
Maybe that'll untrack the Redbirds right now. I'm going to tell you what, these two schools have got a lot of fans here. Right now, Illinois State's fans, approximately 5,000 of them on their feet, trying to get their defense to play hard.
There's a lob to Amaya underneath, and so far Illinois State can do nothing about Amaya. How do you like that shot?
How about that great pass? The lob to Amaya, the good catch, and the up and in. 10 points now for Amaya.
They just do not have an answer for him.
And Illinois State spreading the offense, trying to find some sort of opening. Southern Illinois defense has really put the clamps down in about the last 12 minutes.
I should say, though, we've talked about they don't have an answer for Amaya. However, the last time these two teams played, Amaya had only 10 points, played only 28 minutes of the ballgame. First time, however, he had 28. Here's Fitch, and that won't go. And Carr with a rebound. And a foul reaching in on Vandegaard.
You know, Barry, that again, that's just frustration on the part of Vandegaard. Go back and take a look at him right here. He's trying to do something for his club, trying to get in position to try to get an offensive rebound. Southern Illinois is all over that glass. Vandegaard with the foul. He knows it, going to the other end, and Southern Illinois will get the basketball out of bounds. They're not in the bonus yet.
Bob Bender shaking his head. He has got to find some answers here pretty quickly. And it's also interesting to note that Rich Herrin has gotten some help out of his bench. Lusk has been very productive since he's been out there. I think Carr has been extremely productive. Penetration that time by Lowery and a foul on Taylor.
Vandegaard made the good block. It was Taylor that committed the foul. Watch it down inside. Look at the good help right here. Taylor trying to come over. Vandegaard's right there. He slaps it away, but Taylor on the block. Yeah, you made an interesting point about those benches because Illinois State's the club that uses their bench more frequently than does Southern Illinois. They usually play about 8 men. Illinois State will go down to 10.
Lowery has his 4th point.
weekend, too, isn't it?
That's the thing. It always strikes me whenever I'm doing a tennis match and Yvonne Lendl or somebody will look up and say, can you stop moving 4 rows up there? You know, these guys are doing it with tubas and... There's Hunter, turnaround. Amaya, again, just doing a great job on Hunter. He is just doing enough to make him shoot a low percentage shot. Here's Lowery.
Nice.
Kick out. Johnson missed the shot. Lusk runs the rebound down, though, and they'll have a second chance. There's Lusk, and he's 3 for 3.
I'm going to tell you what. You talk about somebody who's starting to fit into his surroundings well. Lusk is, and Illinois State says, I've seen enough.
Not a bad idea. 27-11, Southern Illinois. It has been no contest. 4:19 remaining, first half.
To play this game, you got to have the drive. You got to have the moves. You got to have the love. But most importantly...
Hey, man, you get the ball?
No, I ain't got the ball. You got it?
Say what?
You got to have the ball.
Somebody better bring the ball. Bring the ball.
Hey, Chops. Want a game? The new street ball. It's a Rawlings. It's only $4.99 and only at Pizza Hut. Get one, because nobody plays without the ball.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil with not one but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
My daughter, she's going to college. She needs a car. So we talked. She wanted this, she wanted that, she wanted ABS brakes. She's a very bright girl. So she looked, and she found the new Subaru Impreza. Well, I can't talk to her about a car, because I'm usually the cynic. But this Impreza left me speechless. So now I say things like, aren't you glad I told you about the new Impreza? And she says, Dad, you're employing revisionist history. Like I said, she's a very bright girl.
Barry Tompkins with Larry Conley. 27-11, Southern Illinois leads. Illinois State hasn't had a basket in 7.5 minutes.
And Barry, here's part of the reason is that Southern Illinois defense. Watch Chris Lowery get in here and just strip Vandegaard. He takes the ball to the other end, and waiting there anxiously is Paul Lusk. Watch this good shot. Little dribble between the legs and nothing but net. And as you said, 3 baskets for that young man off the bench.
And how good is the Southern Illinois defense on the low post?
Hunter's 1 for 8 field goals. Vandegaard is 1 for 5. 2 for 13 between 2 of their better shooters.
And out rebounding Illinois State. Southern Illinois is just doing absolutely everything right. And it isn't so much that Illinois State is doing nothing right. It's just that Southern Illinois is not letting them. It's just that simple. They are dominating the game on both ends.
Watch the offense being run. Good screen set by Southern Illinois. Then they look to Amaya inside. Good defense this time by Illinois State. A little more pressure. Filling the passing lanes, denying the passes. Redbirds out there a little tougher.
Johnson waiting for help. Almost got trapped that time. Scrambling Illinois State defense this time. Trying to isolate Amaya. Carr gets the ball. Tough shot, and he gets it to go.
Wasn't pretty, but it went in. How about the penetration that time by Lowery to free Carr?
This time Hunter puts it on the floor and kicks it back out.
Southern Illinois really tough on defense. Look at Lusk.
Did enough. Taylor made the shot. Boy, it breaks a long, long dry spell. 8.5 minutes.
Long time to go without field goals. That's the reason they're down by 16 right now.
Now, lest you think this is unusual, Illinois State was down 14 to Drake in the game that they came back and won last night. And they were down 17 earlier this season to Wichita State and won that one.
Maybe things are starting to go Illinois State's way. Amaya missed one.
That's a tough shot by Taylor. Thomas underneath.
I'm going to tell you what, Richard Thomas is 6 feet tall.
And if they win this game, all he'll talk about is that great rebound.
That's Alice Bender, one of Illinois State's great supporters.
And well, she should be.
You bet. And here's another turnover and a foul. A little over-aggressive foul that time on Lusk. And you're right, things very slowly are starting to turn here.
Lusk a little bit out of control. Rich Herrin somewhat upset with this, but I tell you what, he made a good pass. It was just a good defensive play down the inside, and a pickoff by Hunter saved the basketball, and you see Lusk committing the foul. Oftentimes, Barry, I've always felt like to get your team turned, the defense has to do it for you. Because if your offense and your shots aren't going, then you've got to do something to make the game fall in your direction. And usually it's the defense that will do it.
One of the officials was having a heated conversation with Ashraf Amaya. I'm not quite sure what it was all about, but basically he was just saying, cool it, take it easy. Hunter knocks it down. Hunter, very improved free throw shooter.
Hunter probably playing the best basketball of any Illinois State player in this tournament. He has had a terrific 2 games.
Having a tough time tonight, though. Amaya just doing a great job on him. Nonetheless, it's 29-17. And there Timmons picks the dribble up, but he's got to get some help.
Isn't it funny that one missed shot that rolled out, and all of a sudden Illinois State got a little bit more confidence?
You can really sense it, too, can't you? This time a foul from behind. Going to go against Vandergaard. Amaya hasn't touched the ball too many times in the last several trips down for Southern Illinois.
I think that's the 7th team foul on Illinois State, so the Salukis will be shooting the 1-and-1 now.
Second foul on Vandergaard. Puts Amaya at the line. Ashraf, incidentally, went through high school with the name Andrew. In fact, his teammates still call him Drew. And the reason that he was called Andrew in high school, he said, is nobody could pronounce Ashraf.
So when he got up there,
so may as well just do Andrew.
People in the sports information department said, well, what do you want to be called? He said, I'd like to be called by my name.
And nobody ever knew what his name was because he was always Andrew in high school.
I think Ashraf is a pretty name. Yeah, really nice.
There's Thomas for 3, won't go. Vandergaard gets the long rebound. Kern stepped in front of that pass that was headed for Taylor, and Taylor might have been spotted up for a 3.
Kern's got one of those 1960s haircuts.
Yeah, those are nice, aren't they?
Yeah. He and Montrose must be brothers.
Kern faces up. And they're going to count the basket. And I think we're going to get a foul as well underneath the basket. So I think the basket is going to, yes, the basket is good. And
is it Pavlovich?
I believe that's who it went against. And Vandergaard's going to go to the line.
Yeah, take a look right here. There's Pavlovich right there trying to, well, he just pushed Vandergaard down.
That's a full takedown.
Yeah.
That counts in wrestling.
Is that a 2?
I think it's a 2.
Yeah.
Well, the Reebok Report coming up at halftime. John Saunders and Dick Vitale tell you about the Colonial and the Sun Belt Championships and the Atlantic 10 semifinals also tonight. And if you already know, big surprise in the Colonial.
It's been a long time since Illinois State's been this close.
Yeah, I would think if just a few minutes ago you said to Bob Bender, would you take getting in at 10 at halftime, he'd say thank you very much and call off the jam right there. He's got a chance now to get it down to single digits.
I think Rich Herrin wants to run a little bit of clock right here before the end of the first half. He wants to walk out here with a commanding lead. Timmons with a good screen, good roll. Taylor stayed right with him.
Kern putting a pretty big body on Amaya, not letting him set up quite as low as he was earlier.
Maybe a pretty good substitution. Kern with a big body, strong.
Now, I think he's doing just enough on Amaya to make him set up a little bit further out than he was earlier in the game.
You know, oftentimes when you reach down in there and a guy may be somewhat limited in his offense abilities, as Kern is, can help you defensively just because of...
It's just a flesh wound. He'll be okay, folks. Mrs. Conley, if you're listening, he's going to be all right.
Lost it there for a minute. I was going to say is that Kern does a good job, but he does push him out a little bit. Kern's a little bit bigger.
Well, Kern's a guy, you know, the day he signed a letter of intent to Illinois State, he was offered a football scholarship to Oklahoma.
Who's played a good first half here has been Lowery. He's taken good care of the basketball. He hasn't turned it over. He's found the people he needs to find inside. Bob Bender told us today, he says, if I'm going to have any success, I got to be able to shut down that penetration, because if that guy gets inside, he'll kill it.
Yeah, as we said earlier, a very interesting matchup at the point guard between these two teams. Thomas and Lowery, they're almost interchangeable parts, really. So Lowery gets it back to a 12-point lead with 45 seconds. The shot clock will be off now. And I would expect that Illinois State will just play for the final shot here.
You've got to wonder about the mindset of these two clubs as they go into the locker rooms at halftime. Bob Bender's going to probably go in, be very upset with his club because they gave up so many easy baskets. But on the other end, Southern Illinois is going to be very pleased with what they turned out in the first half. Their defense was outstanding. They got the ball to Amaya when they needed to. And I think they've done just about anything they wanted to do on offense to get the easy baskets.
But things changed in about the last 3 minutes. I think Kern is one of the big reasons for that. Here he is. He thought about taking a shot. Still does. Puts it off the glass just a tad hard. And now Illinois State with less than a second, or rather Southern Illinois, and that is not going to get it done. But the Salukis will take a 12-point lead in the locker room at halftime. And considering everything, I don't think Bob Bender is too disappointed with that, because this game was really starting to look like a blowout. The last few minutes were even, and Bob Bender will try to do something about changing things in the second half. But the first half belonged to Rich Herrin and the Salukis of Southern Illinois. They lead it by 12. Let's take you back to the studio now. John Saunders and Dick Vitale. John.
All right, Barry and Larry, thanks a lot. Another #1 seed trying to avoid getting bumped off here. The Salukis with the lead there. All right, earlier here today as we move along on the Reebok halftime report, we started things off in the Sun Belt with their championship game. #2 seed, Western Kentucky. #1 seed was New Orleans. In fact, New Orleans did not lose all year in the Sun Belt. One of the reasons, Irvin Johnson, he had 22 points. New Orleans was up 5 at halftime, but watch Cephas Bunton here with the big play and more defense. Steal of Darren Horn delivers the 3, Western Kentucky by 10. And Sun Belt champions will go to Western Kentucky. 72-63 is the final here. They're in the tournament for the first time since 1987. Now, Dick, when you look at this game, this is one where a lot of people thought didn't matter who won, that they were both going to go there. But not the case with a lot of these other tournament championship games. You have to win if you're the little guy.
Well, you talk about like an East Carolina game against a Jay Madison. I think, for example, that the big conferences have 3 opportunities to get in a tournament. #1, their overall record. #2, what they do in their league affiliation. If they go 500, they're in. And #3, they get the postseason tournament. The little guy gets 1 shot. He better win his postseason tournament, or he's heading to play golf, and he's going out, maybe, if he gets lucky sometimes, he'll get into the NIT. I say it's unfair. I think the little guy really gets hurt. My heart bleeds for the guy from the lower level. And then the big guys always say, well, they don't play anybody. Well, the big guys never give them a chance to play them. And if they do, it's on their turf.
Absolutely. Case in point, Wisconsin, Green Bay last year, 25-4, did not make it to the NCAA. Championship week. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Scores and highlights. We have a 12-point game.
ESPN's Championship Week is brought to you by the new Subaru Impreza. Go to your local Subaru dealer to find out why it's not just another new car. Subaru, what to drive. And by Budget Rent-A-Car, the smart money is on budget.
People get so emotional. It's the biggest transaction of their life. They look to you for that help, and you just have to guide them through that process.
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Century 21, rated best at selling homes. For all of you with the courage to go it alone, to put your future on the line and your name on the door, there's the corporate card from American Express. Use it for all your business expenses. We'll organize them by category and even provide records of charges. It's a great way for any company to get a handle on costs. Call 1-800-SUCCESS. The corporate card to your success.
You know, when it comes to protecting against friction, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to keeping engines clean, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to protecting against viscosity breakdown, nothing beats Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
Excuse me.
It's all right. It's okay. It's an ad. It's all right.
At a time when things seem to be getting tighter and tighter, TWA has made it a lot easier to get by. We're replacing coach with new comfort class to give you the most legroom of any major U.S. airline. And we're even putting footrests on every wide-body plane. But the price remains the same.
Back again at the Reebok halftime report. A score from the Big Ten. Northwestern making it a habit of being a pain in a not very comfortable place for a lot of teams. Case in point, Purdue and Wisconsin. They beat them. Well, against Iowa, they almost pull it off. They led at halftime, but they lose by 6, 56-50. Wade Lookingbill with 13 points and 4 rebounds. Back to conference tournaments now. Atlantic 10 semifinal. Rhode Island, number 5 seed. UMass, the number 1 seed. But they had lost to Rhode Island this year. And Al Skinner says, we know we can beat this team. But can you stop Lou Rowe? On the boards, going after everything. Puts this one back. Then hard work in a crowd. Still comes up with it and scores again. UMass out rebounding the Rams 51-25. Dick, and Rowe can do it all.
I'll tell you one thing, he can run the court. What a transition player. Outstanding. And he can flat out leap. There's the alley-oop from Robinson. Jam City. It's blowout city, baby. John Calipari says, hey, get ready. We're in the finals. 76-50, Big John.
A big blowout by 26 points. UMass rolling once again. You can see the Atlantic 10 final Thursday on ESPN. And will it be Temple or St. Joseph's that they face? Well, Temple came storming out of the gate again. 38-23 is the score at halftime. At one point, an 18-0 run. Aaron McKee with 14 points. And Dick, as we look at this, a number of teams worthy of getting there, really.
Well, I really like the Atlantic 10 Conference. I think for years they've been an underrated conference. I think John Chaney deserves to be in, whether he wins this game or not. I think their schedule's been so intense, so tough. Plus, he's beaten the likes of the Boston colleges. He's beaten Florida, beat Memphis State, beat Tulane. John Chaney's got my vote. Thumbs up for Chaney. He belongs in. And I'll tell you something else. Rhode Island belongs in that tournament. And I'm not sure yet. Maybe even George Washington. But we know Mass for sure.
And maybe St. Joseph's, who had the same...
No, they don't belong in.
Well. All right. Back with more in a moment here on Championship Week. We'll get back to the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game, where Paul Lusk knocking down this jumper as a number 1 seed is down at halftime.
5, 4, 3. Wait, what's that red light? Dig it. All systems go. That feels good. Prepare for touchdown.
Well, we want to be together, but not too close together.
It's their first visit. I have a small car, and they are my parents.
For the way you travel, today more than ever, the smart money is on budget. For the right car at the right price, call your travel consultant or budget. The smart money is on budget.
Lies beget lies.
God, you sound like Mother.
Well, she happens to be right. Lying is a vicious circle, and there's no way out except to tell the truth.
It's not so easy this time, Maureen. If I tell you, I mean, it's just gonna make him mad.
1 out of every 5 people who try cocaine get hooked. But that's not your problem. Or is it?
I'm getting in shape for the Dream League on ESPN.
Hi, I'm Dwight Stone. Winning medals in the 72 and 76 Olympics was a thrill, but nothing compares with competing in the Dream League on ESPN.
Let's take a look at the women's NCAA. This is the ACC championship game. It went to 3 overtimes. Lena Patterson with this 3. to the triple OT, 106-103. Monica Bennett for the tie, but she misses, and Virginia wins it in triple overtime. They're the ACC champions. Meanwhile, Georgia a loser to Vanderbilt in the SEC and elsewhere.
Are you in the market for a place to advertise your business, but you're not certain where to start your search? Try tuning to Market 10, a new 24-hour advertising channel with digitized photographs and computer graphics, all at affordable rates. You'll get a clean, crisp color commercial of your business with viewing times that vary, making them convenient for you and your customers. Sellers gain the edge over the competition with Market 10, coming soon from Illinois Cable Advertising. For more information, call 529-4277.
Sherlock Holmes Mobile Homes on New Route 13 east of Marion is the housing center of Southern Illinois. With 25 years experience in the housing industry, Sherlock Holmes can serve you, evident by their Circle of Excellence Customer Satisfaction Award given by Fleetwood Homes. We have many floor plans to choose from, and we offer Clayton, Fleetwood, and Liberty manufactured homes. Loans available with long-term financing with low down payments. So come to Sherlock Holmes Mobile Homes, New Route 13 east of Marion for quality, affordable housing.
Ready for the greatest hits of the 90s. The best tennis is served here all week long at the Lipton Championships, beginning Monday afternoon live on ESPN.
ESPN's Championship Week is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. And by Quaker State. The big Q is one tough motor oil.
Halftime of the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, where the Southern Illinois Salukis lead the Illinois State Redbirds by 12. But I have to tell you the truth, Larry, it looked for a time like it was going to be a lot worse than that. This was getting flat ugly. But in the second half of the first half, things kind of evened out a little bit. I have an idea we might have a game yet.
Well, you think so. I tell you what, I think Southern Illinois' defense, if it continues to be as good as it was in the first half, going to make it really tough on the Redbirds. I know one thing, Illinois State can't shoot any worse than they did in the first half.
Ashraf Amaya, though, has really been everything he's been advertised, isn't he?
He really is. And take a look right here. He'll show you some of what they've been able to do on the inside against Illinois State. Look at the good lob pass in there, directly inside, in the wheel around Kern and in for the basket. Amaya had good numbers in the first half. Let's look at the team numbers right now.
As we do, 54% shooting for Southern Illinois. Illinois State, 21%. And the thing that really jumps out at you is the fact that Southern Illinois really caused most of that 21% shooting. It wasn't so much that they just took bad shots. It was just they had shots with hands in their faces all night long. Ashraf Amaya, 11 points, 8 rebounds, and that really is the difference in the game. As the Salukis lead it by 12, Illinois State started to solve the problem a little bit at the end of the first half, but I think the first couple minutes of the second half are really going to be key.
Yeah, two things. First of all, they got to Amaya and shut him down pretty much from about the 8-minute mark on. But for Illinois State in the second half, they need a couple of what I call confidence baskets. Something to really get them going, get them rolling. Now, if history's any indication, Barry, they play much better in the second half than they do in the first half.
Yeah, they shoot better, they score more. Thomas, who had a good first half, but his counterpart, Lowery, had an excellent first half. That's a tough shot by Thomas. Hunter gets the putback, count it, and he'll go to the line.
There's
exactly
one.
What you were talking about.
There's one. You know, this Illinois State team has averaged about 30 points a game in the first half, but almost 37 in the second half. They seem to pick it up a little bit more when it comes around to the second half. Now watch the inside play. Hunter with a good grab. He got it. Good ball fake. Took the blow. Got the shot. And that's the first of those confidence baskets.
Incidentally, we should point out, this is the exact same score of Illinois State's game with Drake at halftime last night. And I hasten to point out that Illinois State's here and Drake isn't. They trailed by 12 at the half. And they didn't lead at any point in the ball game, incidentally, until Vandergaard hit 2 free throws with 11 seconds remaining. It was the first time in the ball game Illinois State led.
Illinois State a little bit tougher on defense to start this second half than they were in the opening segment.
They just showed that matchup in the first half. And there's Wemhaner with a terrific play. Timmons tries to run it down, knocks it off of Wemhaner. Excellent play. Wemhaner really knocking it off of Timmons.
Wemhaner again. Watch this play. Watch this hustle. He slaps the ball up in the air. Then the slap out. Now watch him hustle after this basketball. Oh, that's terrific. That's good hustle. Lynn Hayner is all over that basketball.
Vandegaard, little pump fake. Got around Pavlovich and is fouled on his way to the basket, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Pavlovich maybe a little bit out of his realm when he gets beyond about 20 feet out there from the defensive standpoint. Pretty good move in there by Vandegaard to go around him, and a smart move.
Second personal foul on Pavlovich will put Vandegaard at the free throw line.
Well, they're going to make this comeback. They've got to make those free throws, though. They missed the first two of the second half.
One out of two for Vandegaard. It's down a 9-point game, 32-23. Full court pressure now for the first time.
Watch the trap. Oh, look at Lowery handle that ball.
Pretty tough guy to trap. Lowery up for three. Couldn't quite get it. Timmons underneath for the putback. First basket for Timmons. We said earlier he had to be more of an offensive force. Only took one shot in the first half. Taylor calling for the ball. Now he gets it, puts up a three. And Lowery has it go off of him and out of bounds. Rich Herrin cheerleading. It's part of a coach's job. 22-9 his Salukis are this year. It's been an excellent season. Way outside. Little NBA three-pointer.
The Redbirds are starting to flap their wings a little bit. Things are starting to happen for them.
Here's Bell, the penetration fall away. I'm sure the Redbirds have given that shot all night long, but Timmons gets a second try. He misses, and here come the Redbirds. Thomas will wait for help, 1-on-3. And the penetration all the way to the basket. Tried to flip it up, wouldn't go. Timmons the rebound.
Oh, yeah, Taylor in the corner, too, wide open. Illinois State much more aggressive the second half. They've come out ready to play. Bob Bender's changed defenses. His offense looks a little better. They're starting to shoot a lot better. Couldn't shoot much worse.
Lowery kick out for Pavlovich. And Vandegaard got a hand on that, knocked it out of bounds. You're right, just much more aggressive.
Well, the thing about it, and again, I stress this, oftentimes when you turn a club around that's struggling, it's the defense that picks them up.
Amaya that time got position on Hunter, missed the shot, but drew the foul. And it's going to go against Vandegaard, and that's going to be his third. I think Hunter might, or rather, Amaya might be a little too quick for Hunter on the low block.
Well, once they get the ball down inside there, any good post-up player on the inside, when he receives the ball that low, can get to the basket quickly. And you're either going to foul him or he's going to get a basket. You can't allow the ball to come in that deep.
So Amaya goes to the free throw line, his team leading by 8.
Rich Herrin certainly not applauding the miss. He's trying to encourage him to make the second one.
Missed them both.
It's a strange way of delivering his free throws. Maybe if he gets to that line again, we'll talk about that.
Getting the Illinois State crowd into this, too. And Illinois State is going in the direction of their fans in this half. Vandegaard off the lob pass. Draws the foul against Pavlovich. Pavlovich is third.
Mirko Pavlovich making the foul down on the inside, but it was a good lob pass that enabled this play to be successful. Look at this, a good lob over his outstretched hands and a good catch. Vandegaard waited for him to come down. That's another good smart play. Make sure the guy's going to hit you before you go up for the shot.
So Vandegaard will go to the free throw line to try to cut this to 6.
It's amazing how much better this club plays in the second half. There's a happy lady right now.
Yeah, Alice Bender, a little tension showing on her face. And Vandegaard gets them both. And Bob Bender did a pretty nice plie, actually. Unfortunately, this is a basketball game. He wanted full court pressure. He got some help there. Bell, offensive foul. It's exactly what we were talking about before. Give all the credit to Taylor for stepping in front.
Barry, this one's really close. This could have gone either way. Watch. Does Taylor get there in time? Yeah. Now look, see, Bell has a chance to stop.
I think it was more the fact that Bell got the shoulder into him, and anytime you put a shoulder on somebody, you're going to get whistled.
You got to give the guy room to come down. If he's in the air, you got to let him come down. I think you're right. The shoulder was there.
Just a different Illinois State team that we're looking at in this second half. Good ball movement early in the second half by Illinois State. Vandegaard isolated on Pavlovich. Turnaround is short. And the rebound of Timmons. Timmons has a bunch of rebounds in the second half. I think that's 4 that I've counted.
That was the basket that Illinois State needed desperately. If Vandegaard could have gotten that one, that would have brought the crowd right out of the seats.
They still have outscored the Salukis 15-5 in the last 7 minutes going back to the first half. Timmons, nice little move, got into traffic and somehow got it up and down.
I tell you, for a guy who was pitching a shutout in the first half, he's really turned it around.
Yeah, he's doing it in the second half what Amaya did in the first half.
Exactly.
And he's playing on a pretty sore wheel, too. He's got a very gimpy ankle.
Taylor not unfamiliar from beyond that three-point line. He's shooting 50% from out there.
And in fact, Bob Bender wouldn't mind if he shot a little bit more from there. His scoring production has dropped off. Nice play defensively by the Salukis, and they have a chance now to stretch it out again.
Two pretty good defensive plays by Amaya against Vandegaard.
Boy, and Amaya and Vandegaard having at each other. Vandegaard thought Amaya stepped on him, and they're going to call Vandegaard. That's a retaliation foul on Vandegaard because he thought Amaya had stepped on him, and that's going to be his 3rd personal foul.
Look at Vandegaard trying to make the move. He might have gotten away with a charge right there. Amaya just took the blow. Watch Bender. A little upset? Yeah. Says his man was bumped.
At the other end, though, Vandegaard stepped on his man. So a very physical ball game, 36-28. Salukis. We'll be back right after this.
Where the hype ends, the real story of sports begins.
I took the growth hormone. It may cost me my life.
A story of blood, sweat, and glory. Now Time Life Video shows you a side of sports you've never seen before. In blood, sweat, and glory. A heart-pumping look inside the minds of the athletes who live and die to win. Feel what it's like to face the pressure of world-class competition.
That separates the good from the great.
To taste the sweet addiction of victory.
But when I'm at my best, I can beat anyone.
And the hollow agony of loss. To find the thrill of a lifetime on the edge of death.
You had a 2 out of 3 chance of being killed.
Your first video, For the Thrill of It, takes you for a 250-mile-an-hour ride around the oval at Indy, on a bone-rattling run down skiing's most dangerous downhill course, and into thin air with those who live to cheat death one last time. Other videos take you around the world to see the strangest spectacles in sport, give you an insider's look at sport's greatest moments, and let you take a chilling walk on the fine line that separates hard-fought competition from all-out warfare. 4 years in the making, Blood, Sweat, and Glory does what no made-for-TV sports spectacular can. It takes you around the world to see the real story of sports and the power of the will to win.
I am the greatest.
Call this toll-free number now to order For the Thrill of It for just $9.99, a 50% savings. Other videos will arrive at the regular price, but there's no commitment to buy. Find out why winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Call now.
To order Blood, Sweat, and Glory, call 1-800-762-4600 or send $9.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to Blood, Sweat, and Glory, Grand Central Station, P.O. Box 5294, Department B-11, New York, New York.
36-28 ball game. Southern Illinois clinging to the lead over Illinois State. 15-23 remaining in the game. And it really has been a different second half. Although right now you have the idea that things are very, very even, and this game could tip either way.
Well, the 2 missed field goals underneath by Vandegaard really hurt Illinois State, but it was the good defense that caused it. Amaya was all over him on both of those baseline moves.
Kern back into the ballgame now. Did a good job defensively on Amaya in the first half. Here's Bell. Kick out for Pavlovich.
Pavlovich could not handle it. He had an easy shot if he could have picked the ball up and just got it to the basket.
Boy, Timmons, no help that time. Got it right around Kern.
Timmons was the Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year last year. He's averaging 11 rebounds a game in his last 3 games, so he really picked it up.
And he's really picked it up in the second half. He has really been a factor. As a matter of fact, he's been the offense and maybe the defense for Southern Illinois in the second half. Well, this game has a lot of ebb and flow in it, doesn't it? There's a missed shot. Taylor gets it back, puts it on the baseline, out of bounds to SIU.
Southern Illinois beginning to gather that momentum back again they had in the first half. I thought Illinois State was going to make a serious run here. And right now, the Salukis putting the stop to it.
Lowery had an excellent first half. 7 points, 4 assists, no turnovers. Pavlovich, the runner for 3, won't go. Gets it back, puts it on.
Oh, how about a great follow, huh? Was that terrific? Knew he was going to miss it, went right where the miss was.
Thomas gets in, kicks out. Well, Hunter was moving toward the basket when Thomas got it to him. They were lucky to get it back. Thomas for 3. Tough 3 is short. Taylor saves, but it's out of bounds to the Salukis. And the Salukis now on the same kind of roll that Illinois State was at the end of the first half.
You talked about that ebb and flow. It's now going back towards Southern Illinois. And again, Bob Bender having a discussion over there with the official. One of the better ones around.
Ed Hightower, I really do believe he is one of the best guys around. Always gives the coach the opportunity to talk to him, and it's not going to change anything, but it just kind of pacifies the coach.
It's kind of like having a disgruntled employee in for an interview.
Exactly.
You know, just let him blow it off, and then you're okay. Let's get back to work.
And Lowery with the leaner. And just like that, it's a 14-point game again. 9 for Lowery. He's had a terrific game. And a turnover.
Good defensive play again by Amaya. We said his name a lot tonight, haven't we?
Boy, have we. There's Amaya again. Fought for the ball. Got it to Pavlovich. Bell is open for 3. Won't go. Amaya can't handle the rebound, and Barnes does. They got the numbers if they push it. Barnes on the wing. Taylor to the basket. Got it. And a technical foul on Bob Bender. Ed Hightower called it. And I have an idea that might have been the result of an earlier conversation that Hightower probably said, listen, one more time, and you're going to get it. Comes at a bad time.
Yeah, he needed to get his club moving in the right direction. That's the wrong direction to go now. Southern Illinois with a chance with 2. Even though they got possession of the ball back again, the only thing he loses is the 2 points if Southern Illinois converts. Maybe he'll wake his club up. I guess we'll see.
He's really toying with going out of the coaching box, too. Lusk knocks it down. Boy, Lusk has really been a factor off the bench for Rich Herrin tonight.
That was a good first half. He had 6 in that first half. He and Carr contributed 10 points to the 32 that they had.
1 out of 2. Yeah, it doesn't really cost him too much. See if it lights a fire under his team. Vandegaard will come back into the ball game now for the Redbirds.
I'm going to tell you something. Ed Hightower does not dispense technicals easily.
No.
You've got to really upset him.
Yeah, it's exactly. And I don't think he was upset. I really believe it was a result of, you know, his saying, listen, don't do that. The next time you do it, I'm going to get you. And he got him. It's just that simple. Nice acting job by Carr, but good no call by the official. Here's Lusk.
Defense for Illinois State. They're going to take a timeout. The Salukis couldn't even move the ball to an open man.
The freshman Carr, not a bad timeout taken by him with 12:35 remaining. 43-30. The Salukis back out in front of the Redbirds, and we'll be back right after this.
The Buick LeSabre, Family Circle Magazine's Domestic Family Car of the Year. LeSabre won by finishing first in important family categories like value, comfort, dealer satisfaction, performance, safety, style, and of course, dependability. Buick LeSabre, a welcome addition to the American family.
You know, when it comes to protecting against friction, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to keeping engines clean, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to protecting against viscosity breakdown, nothing beats Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
Having a real estate license doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to sell real estate. You have to understand people.
There isn't anything any school could teach you to make you care about people. That's got to come from the heart.
Century 21, rated most knowledgeable in real estate.
Password. Don't fake the funk on a nasty dunk.
ID? You're early.
But I'm ready.
Then prove it.
That's not enough. Oh, this must be a rookie thing or something.
Illinois State made a run. The Salukis have now got it back to a 13-point lead. I'm Barry Tompkins with Larry Conley. We're watching the Missouri Valley Conference Championship at the arena here in St. Louis. Salukis to inbound the ball with a 13-point lead.
Building a new building here in St. Louis. You see a little over 20,000. In fact, this facility right here is going to be called Field. This facility here is going to have a regional, NCAA regional here in mid-March.
That's right. Just in a couple of weeks. Nice crowd here tonight. And this place fills up. It really is a terrific place. This tournament with record crowds all week long. Great support. Second year that it's been here. Well, that's a tough shot. But time was running out. They didn't have much choice.
That was a good defensive sequence that time for Illinois State. They made Southern Illinois throw up a bad shot. Now they've got it back. They need a couple of baskets right here. This game's going to get away from them. Southern Illinois begin to really push it out.
Taylor just simply lost it. Just forgot to take the ball with him. Vandergaard cuts off Lowery nicely. Got to be a mismatch someplace, and it's Amaya without the Donna trying to guard him. Lusk, and he hasn't missed one tonight.
One of those good Illinois shooters.
Lusk with 9. We're going to have another opportunity here. 1-on-3, Lusk the opportunity. Why not? You got the hot hand, go for it. He's got 11.
He feels it.
And they have a 17-point lead. That's their biggest of the night. 11:09 remaining in the ball game, and the Salukis right back where they were in complete control of the festivities.
Let it rain. Let it snow. You've got Michelin's all-season MXV4, the luxury performance tire with climate control.
The NFL has lots of brutes. Hulks and bulks and big galoots. When Barry they see, they stare and say, he's a munchkin, he can't play, this'll be an easy day. Sad, he replies, poor me, I'm small. Then by them he flies with the ball. 6'10", he's not, but speed he's got. In cushy shoes he trains a lot. So he's not big with bulk enlarged. Just think of him as turbocharged.
Want to break a European's heart? Let him test drive a Buick Park Avenue Ultra for 2 weeks. Then take it away. You see, the Ultra, with its supercharged engine, luxury appointments, and Buick quality, is built in such limited quantities, it's just not available in Europe yet. Want to break a European's heart? Let him drive an Ultra. Then, take it away.
A twin blade from Bic?
What's in it for me?
I'm a big man. Big man.
This is new? A twin for normal skin and a twin for sensitive, right?
I'm a big man.
I'm a sensitive guy, right? So I tried it.
Big man.
It's good. It's great.
Big man.
The new Bic Twin Select. Normal, sensitive.
It really blew me away.
It made a big man out of me.
I'm a big man. Big man.
Go back and take a look. Southern Illinois 17-point lead being built on the arm of one Paul Lusk. Watch this. Up and in. 5 for 5. Thank you. He's shooting it.
Been a huge help off the bench. Is he pumped up? Well, they grow him at home here at Southern Illinois. Take a look at the all-time Illinois high school scoring rankings.
And all four of those guys on that Southern Illinois squad, 9, 11, 12, 40. I'm going to tell you what, that's pretty good.
That's all time. All time is a long time. Vandergaard faces up and sticks it. They need a whole bunch of that. The leader, incidentally, number 1.
Chico Vaughn.
Chico Vaughn, boy, great player both in high school and in college.
Played a little while in the ABA.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And there's a steal. Barnes could have been called for double dribble there. Gave it up nicely to Thomas. They're going to get an offensive foul.
No, I think he's got the block.
I think he did get the block.
Yeah, the official made the call like it was an offensive charge, but it went the other way.
I don't think Bob Bender ever saw that either, because Bob was yelling at Barnes.
Watch the steal right here. Good job by Barnes. He comes up with it. Almost lost it right there.
Almost
got it back
with it, too.
Yeah, he did. Now you can see Lusk moving over. It was close.
Non-shooting situation, though, so at the very least it saved the basket. Neither team has had fast break opportunities very much tonight. Vandergaard waits for Thomas to cut to the basket. Easy two.
That's the way you run your offense. Free the guy for the layup inside. Good screen to free him.
Full court pressure. Now they back off and leave Thomas. And they got Thomas for a foul on Johnson. And that is the Redbirds' third team foul.
They've got a few more to give. Did you ever watch these players in college, the pros? They all wipe the hands off the bottom of their shoes. I don't know whether it's to take the dust off or it's just a habit, but a lot of guys do it.
Yeah, it's true. It's like quarterbacks licking their hand.
Yeah, exactly. Lusk is doing it right in front of us.
Well, Lusk really has been a valuable player for the Salukis, and Amaya has been very quiet since about 2/3 of the way through the first half. Here's Bell. Altadonna got a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, but you know what, Barry? That really is a plus, I think, for this club. For them to be able to look around and not just rely on Amaya all the time. They've got several guys who can step up out there. Bell's one of those guys. Carr has. Lusk tonight. Timmons is one of those players. He can step up and explode on it.
And Amaya draws so much attention that there's usually somebody open for a high percentage shot. Right now, Thomas is backing up on Amaya. Lusk again, first miss of the night, runs his own rebound down. They got him trapped in a corner, got it down low nicely to Amaya, tried to reverse, he was a little too far under. And Fitch comes away with it. Fitch, Bob Bender says, the best athlete on his team and can create shots probably better than anybody else. Nice look down low. Terrific rejection by Amaya. Vandergaard winds up on his back. Lusk the other way. Is fouled by Altadonna. Well, there is Amaya really making his presence known.
It's really probably the story of this basketball game. It's the defensive work of Amaya inside and the run out by Southern Illinois. Watch it again. Good lob pass. Vandergaard catches, goes strong, thinks he's got it, forget it. Amaya is the defensive player of the year in this league, and that's the reason why.
Boy, they did everything right there, too, and Amaya just would not let it happen.
That's where ability wins out over what you're able to do with the basketball. The ability of the defender.
Temple beating St. Joe's. Wright State, pretty good team nobody knows about. A whole bunch of those teams around this year. Coppin State went through its conference and its conference championship undefeated.
Hey, Jackson State's one of those teams.
Jackson State is. I saw a team early in the year that I think was a very good team. Tennessee Chattanooga. They won their conference championship. Lusk takes a seat. He's really pumped up. He's not only been a cheerleader, he's really been productive in the minutes that he's had. 15-point lead now for the Salukis. Foul away from the ball on Fitch. That's a good call. That was going on for a while. Well, if you think championship week is done for tonight here on ESPN, not so. After Sports Center tonight, we take you out to my home, out to San Francisco, where Santa Clara and Pepperdine will get it on for the West Coast Championship. The Peps, the perennial regular season champions. In fact, they've won the tournament for the most part. Interestingly enough, Santa Clara, while it's won the tournament a few times, has not won the conference championship in about 25 years.
Pepperdine's had a good year.
Yeah, considering they lost Doug Christie.
Yep. Still hasn't signed, has he?
Now in L.A. Just did sign.
Just did? Yeah.
Maybe a good player, too, I think.
So, as long as that NBA season is, he's still got a lot of games he can play.
That's right. Johnson with a nice play. You saw his name up on the high school records. They might not give him his basket, though. Let's see. They're going to say that it was before the foul was before the basket. They're not going to give the basket. Bob Bender making a fashion statement here.
There's a man making a basketball statement right now.
It really is. His team really coming together right at the right time. Southern Illinois is another one of those kinds of teams, you know, that I have to think that the Dukes and Michigans and North Carolinas and Kansas and Florida States of the world just hate to see pop up as a first or second round opponent in the tournament.
I think they may get a little bit higher seeding than a 15th or 16th. This may be a club that may be a 12, a 13, somewhere in there. I'll tell you what, as much as we talk about the selection of those teams, I think just equally as important is the seeding of those clubs. I think a club probably would be a 12 or 13 seed. It'll be a tough opponent for somebody who's a 3 or a 4.
Vandegaard sticks a 3. Yeah, very tough. There's a whole bunch of teams like that around the country. This conference, a lot. America Conference, actually, where we got Ball State, another one of those kinds of teams that you just don't want to see. You got Miami of Ohio is another one of those teams you just don't want to see.
Take a look again at the move down on the baseline by Lowery. He went right by all those defenders for Illinois State. Taylor tried to come and help. I'll tell you what, Lowery's had a terrific game. I talked about him in the first half about what he was able to accomplish. He not only had 3 assists, he had 3 assists, no turnovers, 7 points. And he's played just about equally as well in the second half.
You see that black band, incidentally, up on the shoulder of the Southern Illinois players. The reason for that is in memory of an off-campus dormitory fire in the International Students Building. 5 Southern Illinois students were killed in that fire and 18 were injured, and the team voted to wear that black band in memory of that.
I think that's a very nice gesture on their part. A nice move by Taylor in there. Tell you what, he made that cut across the lane. He got free pretty easily.
Clock not exactly the ally of Illinois State, though, and very much on the side of the Salukis. Pavlovich will leave with his 4th personal foul. Johnson will also leave. Rich Herrin got a lot of help off his bench. It's not a long bench, but it was a very productive bench tonight.
Well, he's got 2 guys that he shoves, well, 3 actually. Carr, Lusk, and Johnson, all 3 come off of that bench. Lusk averages 6, Carr averages 3, Johnson averages 5. I think they're all around their average, except for Lusk, who's way above his average.
Taylor gets the first free throw.
Carr and Johnson are both freshmen, too, so a little foundation to build on.
Definitely. Both these teams with some very good young players. Taylor gets them both. He's got 9. Very quiet 9 points for him. Taylor's got a brother who played baseball at Yale, graduated from Harvard Business School. Now he's an accountant. I'm sure Taylor would like to play at the next level just so he can let his brother handle his money. Lusk for 3. Let's go to the studio very quickly and John Saunders for an update. John.
Temple and St. Joseph's. The winner gets to play UMass. And Temple looked like they had it all the way until Bernard Blunt drew them within 6. But Aaron McKee, then a little shake and bake and knocks down a 3. They stretch the lead again. Right now, Temple leads by 9. Barry and Larry.
All right, thank you, John. And here it's a 52-39 ball game, but Illinois State chipping away again. Overplaying that time, and they're going to whistle Lowery for the foul. Little reach in on Vandegaard.
It's going to put Illinois State into the bonus now, the 7th foul on Southern Illinois. You know, Barry, what's kind of fun is to bring two teams like this together into a championship game. In fact, these two teams played, I think, in 1990 for this championship. They're going to created a rivalry, one that perhaps wasn't there before. But ever since that game, these two student bodies of these two schools show up, and they just love to play against each other.
And you know, the other thing that I think is really appropriate with this being a championship game in the Missouri Valley is they played each other 96 times, and they're 48-48.
I'll tell you what, it's been great basketball through the years, too. I can remember the Missouri Valley back in the 50s and 60s had different clubs in it. One of the really strong, powerful conferences in this country. They may be building back to that again.
I think so. I think that's absolutely right. Those old days, Walt Frazier, of course, played a couple of years here at Southern Illinois. Incidentally, he only played 2 years, which is kind of interesting. Oscar Robertson played for Cincinnati, which was then in that conference.
Yeah, Bradley had some great clubs. You'll remember UC was in that league when Oscar Robertson was at Cincinnati.
That's what you're just saying, yeah. We were talking about Oscar Robertson the other night, and everybody puts this great emphasis on double-doubles and triple-doubles and that sort of thing. Oscar Robertson goes a season averaging a triple-double.
That was unbelievable.
Not
I've looked at those numbers. Anytime anybody brings that subject up, I said, don't even talk to me. The king was Robertson.
Absolutely.
He was the best.
Well, Lowery will go to the free throw line now with his team leading by 12. Pretty good idea to try to make these free throws, I think, though. Didn't get that one. I don't know that I would quite walk out of the building yet.
Southern Illinois just stays with their knitting. Keeps that offense rolling and puts that defense to work and make those free throws. They're going to get away with a win here. Illinois State needs to do something very quickly here. You said a few minutes ago that clock was not their ally. That is true.
6:40 remaining in the ball game. Vandegaard with a nice pass. Fitch, the reverse. Amaya got the ball, but he also got Fitch. And he is not a happy Cowboy. Not even a happy Saluki.
Well, the Cowboys were at the start of the show. We got Salukis playing right now.
That's right. And these Salukis are not dogs either.
Oh, good block right there. Amaya was all over that basketball. You know what? You know who he's upset with? Not only himself, I mean, yeah, he got the foul, but he was upset at Chris Carr for allowing the cut across the basket right there, across the lane, to even allow Fitch to even get a chance at the basket.
Fitch obligingly misses it. Western Kentucky, great win for them tonight. Manhattan coming back in the last minute or two to beat Niagara. And there's the upset of the night. Fitch misses them both. Just simply can't afford to let that happen. Bell is open.
Lowery, great penetration. The kick-out pass, the good shot. Well, that's the way you draw it up. Put your point guard out there with the basketball and give it to the man who can shoot it.
And we got a foul here against Carr.
This game has slowed down substantially because of the fouls now. Both clubs walking to the free throw line and shooting a lot of free throws.
Both of them at 9, so it may slow down even more because everybody's going to be going to the line shooting 2. Still a 1-on-1. Vandegaard, as you see, 13 points tonight, now 14. fires up and good. And Alice Bender,
somewhat quiet, somewhat reserved right now.
Just at that wishful point, I think. Wishful, if not hopeful. Bozeman's team trails by 13, 55-42, 5:50 remaining.
Press not very effective by Illinois State. Actually, Lowery can handle the basketball and handle that press almost by himself.
Carr controlled the loose ball. Thomas couldn't get a hand on that one. They're going to try to use a little of the clock here, and that's where they want the ball.
Mismatch. Lowery, Vandergaard was on him.
Lowery couldn't get it to go. It's going to be out of bounds to the Salukis off of Fitch.
You got 9 seconds left to get one off.
They got to be aware of the clock now, and I'm sure Lowery will be. Taylor will guard the inbounds pass. They get it into Bell. Bell faces up, shoots it, short. And underneath, nice pass. Terrific. Pavlovich to Bell, and Bell draws the foul. Or rather, Lusk. It was Lusk with the rebound. Boy, Lusk is really being a contributor out there tonight. A reminder, late tonight, midnight Eastern time, 9 o'clock Pacific, the championship of the West Coast Conference. Santa Clara and Pepperdine from the USF Memorial Gym in San Francisco. Peps won the conference championship yet another time, although they did have a 32-game home conference winning streak broken earlier this year by San Francisco.
But gradually, as we work our way through the week and championship week, we're gradually fitting all those teams into those little slots.
It's interesting how, even though it's early in championship week, form is pretty much holding. Of course, tonight, East Carolina's beating James Madison struck a blow to that, but by and large, teams that are supposed to win are winning.
Western Kentucky with that win tonight, it was no surprise. As Dick and John were talking about while we were away in the first half, I think both those clubs are going to get in no matter what. And now the Missouri Valley Conference trying to decide which team they're going to send to that big dance.
Now, what do you think? They, I would presume, get one.
Probably so. Yeah, I would say one.
Goes again. Kick out Amaya to Carr, the freshman, a little short. Second try, Timmons.
I think even Taylor got away with a foul right there. Timmons got pushed as he went up. Timmons has had a nice second half.
Really has. 8 points in the second half. Remember, he only took 1 shot in the first half. 8 points and a bunch of rebounds, too. Altadonna got a lane to the basket. Carr rejected that. Timmons ahead of everybody to the basket. Missed, but the follow is there by Carr.
Carr got the ball out. He followed the shot. Great running to the floor. Chris Carr.
This one is over. I feel fairly confident in saying that.
I think your sidekick will agree.
Well, Hunter in a lot of traffic drew the foul on Timmons. Southern Illinois with 18 second chance points in the ball game, and that really has been a factor.
We talked about the rebounding stature of this club. They really do go to the glass very strong. And they've got good inside players to do it with. Amaya at 6'8", Timmons at 6'8". Pavlovich, who really we didn't hear much of out tonight, did not have a very strong basketball game, and he's at 6'8". So this club is really very strong on the inside. Carr's had a good game.
They do have a 7-footer, Marcelo da Silva, who had been a starter really until about the last 5 games. He fell on both knees in practice, and even though he's on the bench and available to play, they seem to be in a better rhythm with Pavlovich as the starter.
Well, the other thing, too, it makes him a lot quicker because he slows them down somewhat. With him out of the lineup, those 3, 6'8" guys out there, they can motor. One thing, we'll have a happy bunch of Egyptian dogs running around here.
That's very true. 1 out of 2 for Hunter, and Amaya with another rebound. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Rich Herrin standing over with thumb up. I think that's the indication he wants to spread it. No bad shots. Make sure you get the ball under control.
That's where they want the ball, right there in the hands of Lowery, and the leaner won't go.
Bad shot.
Yeah, it was. Carr gets it back. They got... Well, the clock kept going. I guess it never hit the rim, so... Yeah, 14 seconds, and there's a turnover. We'll take a timeout. 3:16 remaining in the ball game. It's Southern Illinois 61, Illinois State 45 in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. We'll be back.
When your kids walk through their school door each morning, are they ready to learn? Students who eat a nutritious breakfast can concentrate better, learn more, and have fewer behavior problems.
School breakfast supplies a tasty, balanced morning meal for students. It's fast, fun, and it's convenient for busy families. School breakfast may offer you the peace of mind you're looking for.
If your school district has a school breakfast program, check it out!
Come into J&J Coins, the most complete hobby shop for coins and cards in the Midwest, with an extensive inventory of cards from 1952 to present, as well as complete sets, memorabilia, and collecting supplies at the lowest prices anywhere. Most cards are priced at or below low Beckett. Come in and ask about our Hobby Buck program for free and discounted merchandise. Get on our mailing list for super specials and pre-orders. Our national teletype service lets us reach customers nationwide. We pay instant cash on the spot for your cards, coins, gold, silver, jewelry, diamonds, old toys, anything of value, only from J&J Coins.
3 minutes and 16 seconds. I'm Barry Tompkins with Larry Conley. It is a 16-point Southern Illinois lead. They have virtually led from the start.
You can see right there.
A reminder, the NCAA selection special, that's coming up this Sunday. The women's division at 12:30. Then, of course, the men's selection at 6:30 Eastern time. You can see it all right here on ESPN. Who will the 64 teams be? And there's going to be a number of teams like Illinois State playing a waiting game.
Some are going to be elated, some are going to be heartbroken.
And of course, a lot of who gets in amongst the also-rans depends on how the tournaments go.
It's amazing, you know, as you get down to later in the week, there's major conferences having their tournaments. Of course, you've got several major conferences that don't have tournaments, but those that do, as they win, those teams that are on the bubble that perhaps have 20, 22, 23 wins, sit there and watch those clubs win, and their hopes die with each game that they win as they go along in those major tournaments.
Yeah, they want to hope that everything goes according to form in the major tournaments.
Yeah. I think what's going to be interesting is the Big East this year. There's so many of those clubs beyond Seton Hall, from number 2 down to about 7 or 8. All those clubs are so equal. Even their records indicate that.
Well, and of course, everybody's talking about the fact that the West Coast is having a down year, and even though I live out there and I'm very supportive of the West Coast, it's pretty hard to argue that fact that it is a down year, and so I think that's going to open some slots up in other places. Although the WAC conference is almost certainly going to have at least 3 teams in it. BYU, Utah, and New Mexico State, having beaten both BYU and Utah this past weekend at the pit, I would have to think has got to get in.
And those are 3 good clubs. All three worthy of an invitation.
And it's also the kind of tournament not totally out of the question, as Mike Vandergaard, you see, has picked up his 4th foul. Not totally out of the question that one of these, you know, UTEP or Fresno State's a hot team right now, can jump up and win the tournament. Now what do you do?
You got several of those teams, you know, floating around. Take a look at the Big Ten right now. There's so many teams on the bubble up there. Michigan State losing a tough one the other night. It's a club like many teams in the Big Ten right now that you got a question with 10 losses, 9 or 10 losses, or maybe even a sub-500 performance within your league. I mean, where do you go? I mean, what does the committee do with something like that? I guess that's why they've got those computers, huh?
Yeah, I guess. Thomas for 3, short with that. Alfredana gets the rebound back and can't get it. 3rd try, Hunter.
You know, Barry, even with those computers and the selection of those teams, while that's very objective, there's a point that you reach as a human being on that committee. You've got to make some decisions on clubs that you've seen or that you've looked at or you've had a chance to view on television, and you've got to make decisions about those clubs. And that's why they've got good, experienced people up there doing that.
Very difficult. I think when it gets down to the last 4 or 5 teams, and John Saunders mentioned at halftime was Wisconsin-Green Bay being a perfect example last year at 25-4, and they don't get in. And it's one of those very tough things, and somebody comes away saying we should have been in, and they're right.
But you only got 64 slots. That's all you've got. That's all you're going to fill. There's some major teams that have played in NCAA for many, many years right now. Probably won't be in that tournament this year.
Yeah, I think there are going to be some new faces. That's very true. And Missouri, just down the road, which has been a perennial postseason team.
Georgetown's one of those teams. Yep. I don't think they're going to make it.
Although St. Leo's caught up with Georgetown this time. They get Thomas for the foul. This is all academic right now. Minute 50 seconds remaining.
You know, Barry, going into this year, I think a lot of the people in Carbondale and the Southern Illinois fans probably expected a great deal out of this Saluki team. I think they expected them not only to win the seasonal championship and the tournament championship, and they lost the seasonal championship to Illinois State, which had a terrific year this year. But they've turned it around in the last couple of weeks, and I think played about as well as anybody in this part of the country. This is a basketball team I would not want to draw in the first round. And I still believe they're probably going to be a 12th or 13th seed. I think they've got enough talent to be up there. They're going to be 23-9, and that's a very respectable record going into this tournament.
I think that's absolutely right. Reminder, Sports Center coming up right after we get out. Shaq and Ewing tonight. Injury update on Michael Jordan, and Ronnie Lott will play for his third NFL team. I'll tell you, back at my home in San Francisco, they were kind of thinking he might come back to the 49ers.
Going to go play with the Apples.
One of the truly good guys, not only in football, but in sport.
Well, he's been a good one for a number of years.
Has a great effect on a team. He's one of those guys that you want to have on your team. I don't care if he can play 100% or 50%. He's a positive effect on your team because he helps all the young players. Terrific person, Ronnie Lott. 64-50 here. We'll be back.
Look, it's Mark. He likes to run out in the sun. He runs past cows and fields and trees. Runs past fat guys with TVs. Rains can rain, dogs can bite. Stop he won't, he'll run all night. So he wants shoes, cushy and light. Then he'll feel the runner's joy you can't find in a lazy boy. I like to run, he says with a smile. I think I'll go another mile.
Why is the Sabre the best-selling full-size sedan in America? It's simple. Because it's built like a Buick. And Buick has become an enormous symbol for quality in America.
I'm paid to buy the high-volume copies. I don't want to have to worry about them.
The corporate line from Canon.
It's simple. If our copiers are working, our people are working.
High-volume copying systems so reliable, you don't have to think about them.
All I want to know is it keeps copying, sorting, stapling. End of story.
The corporate line from Canon, the #1 copier company, and the new power in high-volume copying.
Solid granite gray of Wall Street. The boundless blue of a Paris morning. The radiant reds of an Australian sunrise. In celebration of a new style of service at home and abroad, we now embrace the colors of the world as the new colors of United Airlines. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Well, the Salukis apparently will be moving on to the NCAA tournament. Illinois State, the regular season champions, falling by 14 with 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining. A well-deserved victory for Rich Herrin. And the other half of the Herrin family, Ann Herrin, who, needless to say, is very happy right now. And with good reason. The team played very well. I said Ann Herrin, Sue Herrin. I know better than that.
pressure again by Illinois State. A little bit late right now. Look at Lowery. There's the foul. He gets a chance to build his average up a little bit.
Interestingly, Amaya did not score in the second half. He had 10 points very, very early in the ball game, but was still a factor. You know, he's one of those guys just does so many things out there. Draws so much attention, as we said earlier. The players get open shots. And so quick to the ball. Unselfish player. Numbers really, I don't believe, tonight will tell the story of exactly how much of a factor he was on this game.
Well, he's a guy, though, that when you start to draw up a basketball team and you want to look at a point guard, these are the kind of guys you got to have on your club. You're right. Struggling on the free throw line a little bit, though. One thing about point guards, you got to be able to make free throws, because at the end of the game, you're going to have the ball most of the time, because you're trying to beat a press. You're going to get a lot of double teams, a lot of traps. You'll be able to walk up there and make them.
And doesn't it seem that every team we've seen this year has a guy, and I don't mean this in the least bit degrading to Lowery, because he's an excellent player, but there just are so many good point guards who are built a lot like Lowery and do a lot of the same kinds of things as Lowery. I mean, most of the good teams have a guy like Lowery.
And this conference has had a number of them. In fact, around the country, we've seen a lot of good point guards.
That's what I mean. I don't only mean in this conference. I just mean everywhere you look. There's, you know, one of those 5'10", 5'11", 175-pound point guards who take care of the basketball, don't make mistakes, don't turn it over, can stick the three, can find the open man, can do all those intangible kinds of things that win games for you.
You know, in athletics, we really have a tendency to want to define everything as much as we can and try to set up roles for people. It's true in everything we do. In football, in basketball, and baseball, we all have these certain roles we want to perform. And in basketball, we take the positions and we assign certain roles. You take a look at Bob Bender, not very happy with what's happened tonight, but he's had a nice year. His club's going to walk away here with a 19-10 record. Certainly a chance to play in postseason play in the NIT, which we'll have on ESPN.
That's right. I'll be doing a little of that. I assume you will, too.
I will, too.
Jump hook that time underneath by Taylor. Won't go. And Timmons with a rebound and an elbow. In no particular order.
And to finish up the thought, Barry, you know, it used to be when we played basketball years ago, we didn't have those definitions for those particular roles. But as we've gotten into the basketball years, as they've gone through, we find guys and coaches who go into these clinics and they like to define their players. Let's take a look at the Southern Illinois bench. That's a happy group of guys right now.
Good reason. Really well earned. They're taking the next step, and you can't win it all if you don't take the first step.
Got a happy bunch of fans in the background, too. This is not quite so happy a bunch. Redbirds had a good year, though. You won your league. You won your seasonal championship.
Conference. There's a lot of good teams. Real home court edge in this conference. Cagle tries about a 25-footer that won't go. And a foul called underneath over the top. I think they got Altadonna. Talking about good point guards like Lowery and Thomas, who we're watching tonight. It is one thing that we mentioned earlier, that West Coast basketball in the Pac-10 conference in particular is really down, but there's an awful lot of good point guards out there. Jason Kidd at California is really starting to play like all the press clippings suggest that he might. Tyus Edney at UCLA, I think, is an excellent point guard. David Stoudemire at Arizona, I think, is an excellent point guard. Bill Walton said Fred Berry at Oregon State was the best player he's seen all year. I think that might be a little bit of an overstatement, but he's a pretty good point guard. Benny Seltzer at Washington State, a pretty good point guard. So let me make one small case for West Coast basketball. You have? Okay.
You know, Barry, you and I were talking about this day, how much fun it is to do these conference championship games, because it's their one shot to appear on ESPN, their one opportunity to really show what they've got before they get to the NCAA tournament. And it's just a great college atmosphere. It's the people enjoying themselves, particularly in the Midwest, where they love their basketball.
Yeah, this is terrific, and it's been a terrific crowd here at the arena tonight. Huge support for both these teams. Fitch sticks a three. Illinois State people still hanging around. Not a Hollywood crowd, I'll tell you that. These people are here for the for the end, and I mean on both sides. And Illinois State trailing by 15. Their fans still almost to the number on their feet, supporting their team. Great atmosphere. Shot up and good by Litweiler for his first basket. Only 24 seconds left. Carr will back it out. I don't believe Illinois State will go foul anymore. They'll just...
No, I think Bob Bender's decided to just call them off.
Almost an
call off
pass.
Yeah. Guess they call off the dogs against the dogs.
No, that's true. Well, Illinois State got a turnover without even really trying to cause it. Substitutions coming into the ball game now. Scott Brzezinski, and there's Alice Bender. There will be another time, no question. And the bench being cleared as Tim Pace comes on, Scott Brzezinski comes on. Ralph Hughley comes on. Give these guys a mention on national television, why not? Inbounds pass, and Fitch has a little gimme layup to make it an 11-point game, and that's the way it's going to end. As the Salukis of Southern Illinois have come away with the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. A terrific win for them. They move on to the NCAA tournament. For Larry Conley, I'm Barry Tompkins. Sports Center is next.
ESPN's Championship Week is brought to you by the people of Nike.